The book of 1 Samuel presents a captivating and unsettling story, the encounter between King Saul and the Witch of Endor. This enigmatic tale, shrouded in mystery and the supernatural, has captivated readers for centuries. Saul, once chosen by God to rule Israel, finds himself facing a bleak future, his heart consumed by fear and uncertainty. Desperate for guidance, he seeks out a woman reputed to possess forbidden knowledge, a woman known as the Witch of Endor. Her dwelling, shrouded in darkness, becomes the setting for a chilling display of necromancy, the ancient art of communicating with the dead. The witch, at Saul's behest, summons the spirit of the prophet Samuel, recently deceased. Was it truly Samuel who appeared before Saul, or a demonic entity masquerading as the prophet? The story of the Witch of Endor has sparked countless debates and interpretations throughout history. The stage for this dramatic encounter is set with the Philistine army arrayed against Israel, posing a grave threat to Saul's kingdom. Saul, once a courageous leader, finds himself paralyzed by fear and uncertainty. He has strayed from the path of righteousness, disobeying God's commands and losing the divine favor that once guided him. In his desperation, Saul turns to a practice strictly forbidden by God: necromancy. He seeks out a woman living in Endor, known for her ability to communicate with the dead. Disguising himself to conceal his identity, Saul approaches the witch under the cover of darkness, pleading with her to summon the spirit of the prophet Samuel. The witch, hesitant at first, eventually agrees to perform the ritual. The atmosphere crackles with anticipation and dread as she calls upon the spirit of the deceased prophet. The practice of necromancy, derived from the Greek words nekros, dead, and manteia, divination, was prevalent in many ancient cultures. It involved rituals and incantations aimed at communicating with the deceased, seeking their guidance, knowledge, or intervention in worldly affairs. The concept of OV, a Hebrew term often translated as spirit or ghost, is central to understanding necromancy in the context of the Old Testament. The OV was believed to be a disembodied spirit, capable of interacting with the living, often appearing in dreams or visions. However, the Bible explicitly forbids any attempt to contact the dead, considering it an abomination before God. Saul's decision to consult the Witch of Endor, therefore, constitutes a grave transgression, a desperate act that highlights his spiritual decline. Jewish interpretations of the Witch of Endor narrative consistently emphasize the gravity of Saul's transgression in seeking out the witch's services. Rabbinic commentaries highlight the dangers of necromancy, portraying it as a forbidden practice that can lead to spiritual corruption and deception. The Talmud views the prohibition against necromancy as absolute, emphasizing the importance of seeking guidance from God alone. The story of Saul serves as a cautionary tale, illustrating the consequences of straying from God's path and placing trust in forbidden practices. Some Jewish scholars interpret the apparition not as the actual spirit of Samuel, but as a demonic entity sent to deceive Saul. This interpretation reinforces the belief that attempting to contact the dead is not only futile, but also potentially dangerous, as it opens the door to demonic influence. Section 5. Christian Interpretations, a spectrum of theological views. Christian interpretations of the Witch of Endor narrative are diverse, reflecting a range of theological perspectives. Some Christian scholars, particularly within Protestant traditions, interpret the story literally, viewing the apparition as the genuine spirit of Samuel. They emphasize Saul's transgression in seeking out the witch, highlighting his desperation and spiritual decline. Other Christian interpretations, particularly within Catholic and Orthodox traditions, tend to view the apparition with more nuance. They acknowledge the possibility of demonic deception while also recognizing God's ability to intercede in extraordinary ways. Regardless of the specific interpretation, the story of the Witch of Endor consistently underscores the importance of seeking guidance from God alone. Section 6. Samuel or Demon: Unraveling the Mystery of the Apparition. One of the most enduring debates surrounding the Witch of Endor narrative centers on the identity of the apparition. Was it truly Samuel who appeared before Saul, or was it a demonic entity masquerading as the prophet? The text itself provides clues that support both interpretations. Those who believe the apparition to be Samuel point to the witch's own astonishment at his appearance. Furthermore, the apparition's pronouncements, particularly the prophecy of Saul's downfall, align with Samuel's previous pronouncements while he was alive. However, other scholars argue that the apparition's behavior and pronouncements are more consistent with a demonic entity. They note that the apparition arises from the ground, a detail often associated with demonic manifestations in other biblical texts. Section 7. The prophecy fulfilled: Saul's downfall and the will of God. The Witch of Endor narrative reaches its climax with the apparition's chilling prophecy. Saul is told that he and his sons will be defeated by the Philistines and that they will die in battle. The fulfillment of this prophecy is recounted in the following chapter of 1 Samuel. Saul's army is routed by the Philistines, his sons are slain, and he himself falls on his own sword rather than face capture and humiliation. The narrative leaves no doubt that Saul's downfall is a direct consequence of his disobedience to God and his desperate attempt to manipulate fate through forbidden practices. Saul's tragic end stands as a stark reminder that true peace and victory are found not in seeking out forbidden knowledge or attempting to control our own destiny, but in surrendering to the will of God. Section 8. The enduring legacy, artistic and literary representations. The Witch of Endor narrative, with its themes of despair, desperation, and the supernatural, has captivated the imaginations of artists and writers for centuries. From Renaissance paintings to romantic poetry, the story has been reinterpreted and reimagined, serving as a source of inspiration for artistic expression and theological reflection. Painters such as Rembrandt, Salvator Rosa, and William Blake captured the drama and psychological intensity of the encounter between Saul and the witch. Their depictions often focus on the moment of the apparition's appearance, highlighting the fear, awe, and desperation etched on Saul's face. In literature, the Witch of Endor narrative has inspired works ranging from epic poems to Gothic novels. Poets like Lord Byron and John Keats explored the themes of guilt, remorse, and the allure of forbidden knowledge through the lens of Saul's tragic story. Novelists such as Nathaniel Hawthorne and H.P. Lovecraft found inspiration in the story's Gothic elements, using it as a springboard to explore the darker aspects of human nature and the shadowy realm of the supernatural. The enduring legacy of the Witch of Endor narrative testifies to its power to resonate across cultures and time periods. Section 9, Conclusion, a testament to faith, fear, and the power of the unknown. The Witch of Endor narrative stands as a chilling testament to the power of fear, the allure of the unknown, and the consequences of misplaced faith. Saul, once a beacon of hope for Israel, allows his fear and desperation to drive him into the arms of forbidden practices, ultimately sealing his fate. The story's enduring power lies in its exploration of fundamental human experiences: the fear of death, the desire for knowledge, and the struggle to make sense of the unseen world. Whether one interprets the apparition as the genuine spirit of Samuel or a demonic entity, the message remains clear. Seeking guidance from any source other than God is a dangerous and ultimately futile endeavor. The Witch of Endor narrative serves as a timeless reminder that true peace and victory are found not in manipulating the spiritual realm, but in surrendering to the will of the one true God, the ultimate source of hope, guidance, and salvation.